I think the conversation around decolonial practice in Buddhism, in regards to Asian Americans, is really complex. On the one hand, because Asian Americans are part of the settler occupation in the United States, to talk about decolonial, it requires like a lot of insight into our own positioning as settler occupants, that haven't been the direct recipients of colonial occupation in the United States. And in relation to that, for example, like I talk about how I come from Taiwan, and Buddhism in Taiwan is part of a settler occupation as well, of people that are not indigenous to Taiwan. So there's a lot of complexity around ideas of colonialism in regards to like Asian diaspora communities and Buddhism. But it's also true that the ways that Buddhism has been talked about in the United States has been through this exclusionary Asian framework that's part of what I think about as this white Christian settler nationalism and settler colonialism. So though Asian Americans weren't occupied as part of an American settler occupation, we've been pushed into that framework in certain ways. And part of that ways is through exclusion and through ideas of Asia, whether it's like the people or the religions being seen as not just different and other, but as Duncan's work has pointed out, seen as dangerous and as a threat to the nation. And so there are these historical reasons, if we look back, of why conversations around Buddhism in the United States have been expressed through this narrative that real Buddhism is seated meditation, and that real Buddhism is devoid of what's been labeled as like the cultural baggage from Asia, like the ceremony, the ritual, the chanting, the reciting. And having a look at that, I think, is really critical for thinking about Buddhism and how it's evolved in the United States if we want to have an accurate historical understanding of that evolution.